Yeah, we just gave everyone the silent treatment for the first like 30 seconds. So might as well. Might as well get going. Good evening everyone, welcome to round 9 of our Season 9 Tier 3 Championship. And a title decider potentially, because all it takes is one 8th place finish for this man Destroyer. And he's sewn up the title tonight around Marina Bay in Singapore. I'm Cruiser 1872, and joining me for this potential crowning moment, once again along for the ride, Monkey Boy Kurt.
Yeah, thank you, Cruiser. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Obviously, if you're coming in as well, welcome. Round 9 of 10 of Season 9 Tier 3. And like you say, Cruiser, it's looking very likely we're going to see our champion crowned tonight in Destroyer. Currently leading the stand by 47 points, with a total maximum of 52 remaining. If he finishes any higher tonight than 8th, he's pretty much won the title. I think Remaster has to win to have any sort of chance of taking this to the final round, and just hope that Destroyer finishes lower than 8th. We'll wait and see what happens. It potentially could happen, you never know, but it is looking like very likely that Destroyer will take the crown tonight. Tier 3 Season 9, but as we wait and for qualifying as well, 13 drivers at the moment. Hopefully we're going to get 14, potentially 15. Let's get onto the track and let's see how they do around Singapore.
As there's the flow getting well out of the way of, and there's a stroll through Godfather, picking up a fantastic result last time out. And if I'm correct, it was Zandvoort last time we went to and picked up 7th place, not too shabby, for the RB driver. And we'll head up towards Sheriff Woody in the Ferrari, a driver who won the opening round in Season 8. Been a bit hot and cold since then, but is doing his bit to try and duplicate that successful evening. And I suppose Bahrain won Bahrain he won at night, and we've got another night race around Singapore as I'm tripping over my tongue. It's a Monday night and it's absolutely freezing because it is winter time. Who would have thought? And we have legends in the chat. How you doing, mate? It's been a while. Thank you for tuning in on this fine chilly Monday evening. Hope you got yourself some tea, coffee or hot chocolate, whatever it is, at the ready for 31 laps of Marina Bay. I know I've certainly brought a beverage to my left hand side at the ready, and down Raffles Boulevard goes Sheriff Woody, and immediately shows why Singapore is a devious track, because it is not only a street circuit, it is plenty 90-degree corners. And around turn 9 he gets away with the escapades at turn 6 though, as behind him is a sour of Locker just getting himself ready and prepped in towards the old Singapore sling, and then up towards the Esplanade, or the Anderson Bridge as people would say. It's an invalidation there for Sheriff Woody, so we'll jump down to the flow. Navigates the hairpin well, and then down the Anderson Bridge, or as I'm going to refer to it, the Esplanade, because it is. And in towards Sector 3, a newly revamped Sector 3, as a flow definitely pushing the track boundaries there, and very easy to invalidate your lap on the exit there of turn 14. And this used to be 3 chicanes, now it's just the one, trying to promote a little bit more overtaking into the final set of corners, and the double left-hander to complete a lap of Marina Bay and throw it to the left, hope the car sticks. And it's going to be a 1:28.4 for the flow. Is that good? Only time will tell. As Hirsch is joined, hopefully a few more will follow, and Destroyer going through his first run, Button a bit ahead of him. Who is next? It's going to be Godfather, so 29.9. David Lawface to 29.0, Locker to start in his lap. So let's keep an eye out from one RB to another. Button hasn't had the best of luck this season and has certainly rinsed that battery down by quite a lot in towards Sector 3. Ideally you'd want a little bit more battery than this, as it is a very long straight, quite deceptively actually, in this qualifying session, and down to the final chicane. We'll jump on board with the RB, and around the final 2 corners for Button, looking to challenge a 28.4, maybe put himself into 27s, and the 27.7, he's done just that. So I think Monkey's getting himself some drink beverages at the ready.
Yeah,
and
no, it's just Mike. Yeah, it's just bloody Mike once again. Yeah, I was just saying.
It's the tracking in Total Zero, that's what it is.
Yeah, literally, that's it. Oh dear. Right, yeah, I was just saying, Button 7 tenths quicker than the flow. Destroyer pops up, goes a tenth behind in second place for now. That will certainly put him in good stead for the race, and we'll certainly see him the champion if he finishes there. But we've got a few more drivers coming around now. Sheriff Woodley's just gone through again, a 28.8, and then FPRL Locker through with a 30.2. We'll try to improve on that. Got David Lowface. Is he going to come into the pits? Yes, he is. And the flow is going to go for another run, it seems. We've then got the Godfather going through, and then as we look towards the rear, here comes Sid Sandwich. What can he do? A 28.3 for Sid Sandwich. That's a good lap from the Williams, up to P3 for now. And just looking down the field, Button, yeah, he's on a cool down lap. So, yeah, not a few people in their first laps. We've got Jay, we've got Zafia also coming around, but he's about halfway around the lap. So I guess we can stay on board with Zafia for the end of his lap. So he comes down to the end of Sector 2, a 103.6 for now, and now into this newly designed Sector 3. Obviously we used to have lots of slow left and right handers, but now we've just got one long straight towards the final few corners of this circuit. Break around the 100-metre board for this corner here, right then left, and then a double left-hander to finish off. What's the thing to do in the Aston Martin? Comes across the line, and he puts in a 128.3, he puts himself up to P4.
Not a bad effort that for Zafir, also getting his first points around Zandvoort last time out. We also got on a lap. We got Jay, Speedy B on an out lap, and that's really all she wrote for the first runs, unless the flow or Godfather improve. Let's see if the flow can improve first, but we'll stick with Godfather as we're on board with him right now. That's how it works. The flow over in the final corner, I'm not expecting too much improvement, a couple of tenths for the flow from a 28.4 to a 28.1, and Godfather from a 29.9 to a 29.5. So despite Singapore being horrible for tyre wear, it's a couple of tenths in hand and a much better benchmark, and as I say benchmark, we're into the 27.5 there for G Undisputed. This man knows what he can do on a good day, and certainly hopes this is one of those, not even good days, but one of those great evenings for the Williams driver. Speedy B getting ready for his first run. Brewmaster, mathematically the only driver that can catch Destroyer, but all he can do is win. That's a safe way of putting it. For Brewmaster, he needs to hope Destroyer scores the equivalent of an out for the next two races. Got Locker on another lap as well, up around the hairpin, heading down towards the end of the Esplanade Bridge. I'm just going to say that just to annoy people. Locker up by a couple of hundredths, but I think this is just getting a feel for the track for Locker. A 29.9, and Singapore, at least from my experiences, is a terrible track to get perfect on a qualifying lap, because no matter what it is, either you push the track boundaries too much and you invalidate, or you push them too much and you're too greedy. And yeah, I think being a bit too greedy on a street circuit, I think you know how that one goes.
Yeah, it'll certainly be straight into the barrier if you push it too far around these street circuits. But Singapore's a little bit more open to the likes of somewhat obviously Monaco, but yeah, you got to definitely watch the limits that you push around here. And we've got a few people now coming through on their laps. Ramos still hasn't gone out. Remars has come onto his first out lap, first fast lap. We've got Speedy B now coming through Sector 3, overtake on. Still got 30% battery, could have probably used a bit more there, but he'll probably use it on the run up towards the finish line. Out of the right and left, and now we come to the double left-hander to finish off. What's he going to do? Speedy B in the Alpine, puts it up to P5, a 28.3, another 28.3. That's three people down with 28.3s. And slots him up to P5. He's been one of the drivers that's been okay in quali. He hasn't been up there in terms of sort of fighting for poles, but he's definitely a consistent driver when it comes to actually competing in the races. He always sort of has a sniffer looking down the field. I don't think no one else is really on a lap at the moment. The closest one is probably Remaster, and he's still going through this middle part of Sector 2. But I think we saw Hirsch come into the lobby, didn't we, Cruiser? And for whatever reason, he hasn't actually selected his Kick Sauber yet, so I don't know what's going on there.
Well, I've sent him another invite. That explains the like the blackout a little bit on the stream, so apologies for that. But we do have Yeah, we've got a couple of folk in the chat, so good evening to you all. And thank you for tuning in on this Monday evening. Tier 3 nights and Singapore evenings. It's always going to produce a bit of drama. Hopefully a fair amount and not too much, because there's only so much we can take. But just sit with Button now. And again, he does a lot of battery draining around sector 1, so that seems to be where he gains most of his time, and takes the hit around sector 3, which is arguably the shortest sector on this track. Only a couple of corners, but so critical to get them right, as that battery is almost depleted for the RB driver, and he's going to abandon his lap. So obviously not content with the effort he's put in, and actually, to be fair, the outlap around this track, you're looking at around 2 minutes long. So might be the wiser move for Button, just to get back in the pits, get a fresh set of tyres on. Speedy B, what has he got? Certainly a much more healthier battery than Button, that's for sure. David's on another run, just starting that lap is right now. Brewmaster on another run, 40.9, that's definitely going to be improved. For the Haas driver, as Sheriff Woody invalidates her in the final few corners, and a 28.1 would have put him 5th, but invalidating where he did, this following lap's going to be invalidated too, so I think that's a straight in lap for Sheriff Woody. What about Brewmaster? Let's see how they're doing. Up by 10 seconds, I mean, that's an understatement. For the Haas driver, knows what he's got to do, and is up by exactly 12 seconds. So as of now, this will put him, say about 9th for the Haas, but still plenty of time to be made and to be found, as down to the final chicane jump on board with the Haas. The team actually won the Constructors' Championship last week, and it's now just a straight fight between Brewmaster and Destroyer for the driver's title. And around the final corner goes Brewmaster, and how poetic, he's right behind his teammate in a 28.0, but still Jay leads the way by a couple of tenths over Button, and is actually on. The final run now is, there's what I say, Singapore, you need to push the boundaries, and there's a fine line between pushing them and going a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, there's those fine lines. Just seeing the cars that are coming round now, and FPRL Locker will be next. He's 9 temps up through sector 2. Hopefully he can gain a bit more, as I only put him up around to about P10. If he was to finish with a 9/10 advantage, he's not really used all of his battery, which I'm a bit surprised at, but he comes around the final corner. What does he do? 1.3 seconds faster, goes up to P9 with a 28.5. He would have time to come in for another run. But yeah, he still had about 50% battery, so definitely could have used a bit more there coming through the last. And can Jay improve? Yes, he can, by 10 thousandths, up still in the 27.5s, but 27.579 puts a little bit more gap between him and Button. For now, here comes the Godfather. What can he do? He goes up to a 28.8. That puts him up into P10. And now we see also Rainbow. What's he going to do in the other Alpine tonight? It's going to be a 1:33.0. But Rainbow in the Alpine, taking the place of Wizard of Oz tonight. Obviously, Wizard of Oz having a great race last time out, coming up from P16 or the back of the grid to P3 to finish on the podium. But yeah, so 4 minutes to go. Got some drivers out on track, but majority of them are still in the pits and will be coming out for their final runs in the next minute and a half or so.
Yeah, and honestly, a well-earned rest for Wizard of Oz, and might as well get Rainbow out on track. Get him a little bit of practice ahead of what could be Season 10 in the new year? Question mark? Maybe? Who knows? Definitely maybe. As 3.5 minutes to go. Jay Undisputed still leading the way, but Button is out on track. Let's scroll through. Where are they? They are starting what could be the final run, so we'll leave them to it for the time being. The flow is on their outlap, and still everyone's just biding their time, waiting to go out. And it seems like with the time left, we're only going to have 14 drivers tonight, which is a bit of a disappointment. JSY and Reese's Pieces not able to make it through whatever has happened for the McLaren and a reserve Red Bull tonight. But still, let's see what we have on offer. Just bring the Discord server. Everyone is ready and set. So 3 minutes to go. Let's throw out the Twitch chat. Who do you think is going to get pole position? Based upon what you've seen with 3 minutes to go, who is going to get that penultimate pole position for Season 9. And I think, really, your money is on either one of the top 4. And even at that, the flow's an outside chance as well. But I think Button's going to put the odds firmly in his favour. 3 tenths up and might get a naughty, let's say a naughty slipstream here. A well and much needed slipstream here from David Lawface, because that battery again is looking very bleak for Button, but his hopes are very much beaming around the final few corners for the RB. He's provisional on a 27.4 as he found more time, a 27.2. Take that.
Yeah, he definitely got, I think, a little bit of help on that final straight from David Lowface. A slight slipstream obviously projected him up to 27.2, 3 tenths faster now than P2. That's a great time to put in, and that's going to take a lot of beating from the guys behind him. So will we see any challenges from Jay, from Destroyer, from Remaster, from the Flow potentially? The Flow's now on his lap. He's backed off on it. He was 2 tenths down through Sector 1. And he's backed off, and he will go for another run. But everyone now starting to come out of the box. We've got Sid Sandwich in the pit still. I don't know if he's going to make it out. He won't make it out. Jay won't make it out, or he might do, actually. He's just come out now, so I think he will just about have enough time. Yeah, like I say, Sid Sandwich
He's
won't.
got to push it, though.
And Rainbow definitely
I think Jay's got about... I think Jay's about 4 seconds in hand, and he's on no battery, so good luck, Jay.
Yeah, I think he probably will just about make it. Hirsch is coming out for his one and only run in currently P14. Obviously joined the lobby late, so we'll see what he can do. But as everyone now comes on to their final lap, it's just a case of trying to see who's going to be the first one across the line. And it really is kind of difficult to kind of tell. I think probably it's going to be Sheriff Woody. No, he will go again. I think we're probably going to see the Godfather, I think, will be the first one to come across the finish line. So we'll watch everyone come in this final minute or so of quali. And can anyone take Button off that top spot? Like I say, it's going to be very difficult. 3 whole temps in front of second and around 6 temps in front of third at the moment.
Well, put it into perspective, the gap between Button and Speedy B is greater than the gap between Speedy B and David Lawface, which is a difference of 7 cars. Button's got that buffer over 5. So that's the margins that everyone's got to try and make up, but we'll see what Godfather can do. He'll be content with another top 10 in qualifying as the checkered flag is out. First up will be Godfather to challenge his teammate of Button, and then next up is the Juggernauts of the Flow. Brewmaster Destroyers to follow. The Godfather goes up to 6th place. He'll be happy with that if he stays there. The Flow is down in their time and they have abandoned their run. Next up's going to be Brewmaster. Ahead of them, I believe that is Locker. Down to the final chicane. What has Brewmaster got on offer? He's got about 10 seconds left to try and challenge Button. He's got to hurl it around this final few corners. And it's going to be a 25.6. It's not enough for Brewmaster, but he does start ahead of his teammate, Destroyer, who's at the end of the Anderson Bridge and is now up by a 10th and only a 10th. That'll put him back up to 3rd. But what about Jay's matching his first sector? Next up is going to be the Ferrari of Sheriff Woody, getting a helpful slipstream here from the back of Sid Sandwich, who's finished his qualifying. Sheriff Woody goes 9th, might have been impeded at just bad timing. Zaphir's next, and then behind them is going to be Locker. That was Hirsch in their only run on a 29.5. Certainly not what Hirsch can do on his day. Zafir around the final corner. This is looking quick for Zafir. Puts him 5th. He'll be happy with that. What about Locker? Locker up to 5th as well. He'll be very chuffed with that as well. Speedy B doesn't improve. And now it's down to Jay. Can he beat Button? No, he can't. Button has done enough for the penultimate round. Button back where he belongs, and it's pole position for the RB. And Jay, who had this session so well controlled, it took a bit of magic and a bright spark for Button to set that track alight and put himself up the front of the pecking order.
Yeah, what a lap from Button. He said in his post-race interview last week that he loved this track, and it shows definitely in that quality time. 3 tenths in front of P2, a whole half a second in front of P3. We've got the 2 Haas boys, 3rd and 4th. Destroyer, our championship leader, looking very like, provided he doesn't do anything silly in the race, that he's going to take that championship crown. Roommaster is going to have to push like crazy to try and get into that top spot and hope that Destroyer has something majorly go wrong, or he finishes 9th or 10th, and then he can take the fight to Imola. But like we've already said, it's looking like the way that Destroyer's raced this season, 5 wins out of 8 races, you would expect him to definitely take that crown tonight.
That he is, and I'm going to say this from a commentary perspective, not even from a driver perspective. Thank goodness it is not raining. Because Singapore in the wet, unless you've played Formula 1 games, Singapore in the wet, you wouldn't want to wish that on your worst enemies. It's an absolute nightmare to drive and handle in this game, and even in F1 games in general. But still, got a brief intermission between sessions as per the rules. No formation lap, as it's been a slight tweak to start procedures this season. And so far, I think it's actually been quite a good change for the better. As it's higher warm up, it just doesn't work really. It just doesn't work at all. As Silverside Boys tuned in, good evening to you, mate. FSL Ben, I remember that name. I don't remember the username, but I remember someone.
I think I do remember it as well. Yeah,
I remember them. So they've tuned into good evening to you, Ben, and Legends, of course, tuning in with the mighty Tiddlewink as well. Certainly a man of many a name in FPRL. Sid Sandwich in the chat too, and the Silverside Boy has failed at trolling and says that my football club Rangers are going to bottle it on Wednesday. I don't know how that's possible, Gary. We play Thursday. You failed to troll. Congratulations.
Gary's just made himself look a right arse. That's all I've got to say.
Just because Liverpool are unbeaten in the Champions League, not all of us can win in Europe.
Exactly that. Well, I guess we go on to obviously Wheel F1. Constructors champions from McLaren in real life, obviously. It was quite an interesting race. We always thought that Sainz potentially was going to maybe do enough to potentially get past Norris. I mean, it would have made it really exciting. As I think at one stage in the race, if that was the case, first and third for Ferrari, and obviously Piastri doing so badly with his penalty in the start of the race for Verstappen, I think they would have nicked it potentially by 1 point, but Norris did what he needed to do. And there'll definitely be a strong outfit next season. Norris saying in his radio after the race that he says that next year is going to be his year. Well, we'll wait and see about that, but I think it's definitely going to be a fantastic year of racing if we get anything like the second half of the season has been this season.
And I actually seen on X, well, Twitter, that there was a very strange, how do I say this? A very strange stars aligning for Hamilton, obviously leaving McLaren. He DNF'd, I think it was, a British driver won the race, because 2012 Button won in Brazil. A Spanish driver finished second, that being Alonso. And another Ferrari completed the podium, that being Massa, in 2012. And I can't remember, I think it was something like a Red Bull recovered from a lap 1 crash to finish 6th, and that was Sebastian Vettel that day. Roll on 12 years later, all 4 of those things happened at Abu Dhabi. Norris won, British driver. Sainz, Spaniard, finished second. Ferrari completed the podium, being Leclerc. And Verstappen recovered from a lap 1 crash to finish 6th. That's... I don't believe in the Illuminati, but I think that's very, very Illuminati. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's very coincidental. As, well, there's only one way this is going to go. 31 laps over Marina Bay, 5 lights, and a champion to be crowned, potentially. We're underway at Marina Bay, and Brewmaster once again played with the clutch grounds at the start, and Destroyer is in third, just ahead of Zafir, who's had a fantastic launch ahead of Button from 6th to 4th after Brewmaster's misfortunes, and actually challenging Destroyer in towards turn 3. Just Zafir not taking any prisoners. Destroyer back down the inside, trying to hold it, and Zafir from 6th place to 3rd. Fantastic start for him. But Button and Jay are streaking clear, and then there's this melee behind. We jump on board with Destroyer, looking to get back ahead of that Aston Martin down the end of Raffles Boulevard into towards turn 4, as there's been a desync of sorts, and Destroyer's been spun round by Zafir, and I see a bit of frontline damage too for Harsh as he's collected almost by Brewmaster, who sends it down the inside of David and is also promptly put back in 10th place. A disaster there for the Haas's. But I think really for Zafir, that is something that was out of his control.
Well, Destroyer got the worst start possible. He's now down in last. And just seen Rainbow go off. I don't know if he's at the wall. Yeah, he's knocked some of his front wing off. I don't know if it'll be a VSC or not. He might get out of there just in time. But yeah, Destroyer having an awful start, and Brewmaster will be dreading that he's had another lap 1 fail in terms of getting off the line, because if he was up there now fighting for those first positions, he'd be in a good spot here with Destroyer not having any points. But as it stands, he's down in 10th. He needs to try and make his way right back through the field now, and ran a track like this. I have a feeling it's going to try and make it very difficult for himself. He's now got Hirsch, who's trying to get past, going through the final corner. Will use a bit of battery going down to turn 1. I think he will, but Hirsch comes across to defend his position. Around the outside goes Brewmaster, and it is a great move around the outside to go back up to P9, but now he's got around about a 2-second gap to Godfather in 8th. He will have no DRS. The cars behind him will, and we can potentially see Hirsch go straight back past it.
And in the battle of the broken front wings, Brewmaster wins that one, considering Hirsch has got half of his, and Brewmaster's only lost an nameplate. But Brewmaster has to be careful. He's down the inside. Hirsch forces him wide, and Brewmaster takes the place back. But there's Sid Sandwich wanting to get ahead of the Sauber. Hirsch in the wars so far, and we're only on lap 2 as out towards turn 7. Sid is still there. He's going to try and brave it. David's forced wide a little bit there, and Destroyer's got ahead of that Mercedes as Hirsch has to give in and relinquish what was 10th place, and that half a front wing for Hirsch is really starting to hinder his progress as he's just cascading down the order after what was a pretty decent start. But one driver again who's had a pretty solid start is, I would argue, Locker on the hards, up in 4th, and Zafir on 3rd on the mediums, but Locker on the hards. The flows on the set of hards is, I think, Destroyer's in the wars again. Destroyer's gone. He's certainly not making it easy for himself tonight, is he?
He definitely isn't. I don't know if he's got any wing damage there, but he's definitely not having a good time, and he's even further now behind this pack. Remaster 2.5 seconds off Godfather. He's lost time on that lap, and yet not what Remaster wants. This is what he wanted. He wanted Destroyer to be out of the points and down in those positions. He's just doing nothing with it. He's now 9th position. He needs to get a move on and try and get his way back up the field. But as you were saying, the unlikely people near the front, Zafir in 3rd position, and Locker, we haven't seen much from him at the front this season, but up in P4 on the hard tyres. If he can keep those going a few more laps and stick with the medium runners, so we're going to be in a very good position for the end part of this race. Go back to the front, Button leading by 7/10 with 49-50% battery. It's about half a battery. Jay just behind with around 85%. So Jay, there's not nothing to worry about yet. He's within DRS. He's got a good battery, and obviously they've got a good gap on 3rd place behind him of 2 seconds. So I think Jay here will just be biding his time until he gets close enough to have a right good go at Button without using too much of the battery to get past.
Just spectating this fight here for what is 5th place on track. We're up the Flow, Speedy B, Sheriff Woody and Godfather, all of them within around 2 seconds of each other, and Locker starting to catch up to Zafir, but also bringing along this quartet quite nicely and make things a little bit more interesting here as the 2 drivers on the hards, Locker and the Flow, still minding their own business. Destroyer still down in 13th place, Brewmaster in 9th, and I think this is a little bit of DRS train that's just separating the field from Brewmaster and Sid Sandwich in their own little fight here for 9th and 10th, as Hirsch has decided, I've had far too many laps on half a wing, I need to get it changed. Into the pits he goes, and maybe go in a set of hards to the end, but it's going to be a... there's my question answered. He's had enough after 4 laps. So that is it for Hirsch on this Tier 3 Singapore Grand Prix. And that's, yeah, quite an abrupt end, but obviously just wasn't happening for one of the Saubers. The other one doing his bit up in 4th, and is just sort of, I'd argue, look behind him, but Singapore notoriously difficult to overtake, and ultimately it's just a case of bide your time and pick him off, because even at that, the recharge around this track too, which is not really doing my point justice here, as Sheriff Woody is on a full battery, but you can sit in a DRS train, but without this, getting that battery back is so difficult as well.
Yeah, and I think Rumos, the reason why he's not gaining, if anything, losing time is he's losing that front left end plate, and that's really, really harrying him in terms of trying to get up the field. And if I was him, I'd be even potentially thinking, do I just come in for hards now? You probably go a lot quicker and gain potentially a lot of time and maybe hope for a safety car to do you good justice later on. Destroyer the Stains not really gaining on David Loweface, 3.1 seconds behind on the hard tyres. We see a move for 6th position. It's Speedy B and Sheriff Woody side by side through turn 1 and 2. Speedy B is ahead, and will we see a move going back down the straight as we go? Also, the Flow might have a go at FPRL Locker here. 3/10 in the slipstream with the DRS. Woody have a go. The McLaren goes to the outside. Nice to outbrake. Locker tries to hold it around the inside, but it's a good move there from the Flow, and he should keep the position, but it's good outbraking there from Locker, and no, it's Locker that keeps the position. Great outbraking, takes him back around the outside, and the kick Sauber stays ahead for another lap.
And I've noticed too, Locker's actually got some front right end plate damage, so he might have had a little nudge with the wall somewhere. And Jay Undisputed down it towards turn 1, giving Button a little bit of a hurry up, or a bit of a bump draft, as to use the correct phrase. 6 Sandwich getting a 3-second penalty. And that's one thing that's easy around this track, is to get time penalties, as it looks as though Zafir's in a major desync. He's now down in 6th. What's happened there? He was like 4 seconds ahead of this group, and now he's just pinged back into 6th place. He's now right in the middle of this train.
Yeah, that was very odd there.
Unless he's even a screen freeze or something, I don't know. That is very suspect there for the Aston team. Obviously, they're I don't know. I think some of their technology is being played. It's probably Lawrence Stroll trying to get Lance some superpowers to not finish in last place. Anyway, lap 6 are in Singapore. Button and Jay Undisputed, the gap half a second as down Raffles Boulevard we go. Button just content to sit ahead, and Jay Undisputed more than happy to sit behind, let the RB in front rinse their battery as Jay sits on 80%, Button down on 40, and a part of the bigger picture here for Jay, let Button use his battery to defend and then pick off the bones later on, as Locker doing his bit in defence as well, holding on nicely here to the back, I'll say nicely in front of the Flow Speedy B Zafir, who was around 3 seconds clear of this train, has now got the Dodfather all over the back of them, who's got ahead of Sheriff Woody himself. So Dodfather looking to carry on that wave of momentum, but has also lost a bit of his front wing too. So we're seeing a lot of carbon fibre getting lost to the Singapore streets tonight, and Zafir still content to stay in 6th, but he's starting to drop back now and is starting to suffer a little bit on these medium tyres. The tyre wear in this track is so high, and expect maybe even 2-stop strategies if we get the chance. And Zafir also with a bit of end plate damage too. If I'm correct, Singapore has a fine if you litter in the streets. Yeah, I think there's going to be a few penalties for these drivers financially.
I mean, they're kind of all giving it to Button and Jade. No one's really challenging them because they've all got wing damage. They're all being affected by the downforce that they're losing. But these two are just running away with it at the front, having their race of their own here. 5.5 seconds ahead of Locker in 3rd. He's got wing damage. I think Zafir's got wing damage. Godfather's got wing damage. We've got Rumas with wing damage. However, he is patching up this pattern now because they're all fighting so close to the train. We're going back to 3rd and 4th. This time, the Flow's going to go to the inside now. But is he going to be able to take the move? There's wheel banging there, and the McLaren and the Sauber trying to stick together. But once again, it's Locker that stays ahead, and Speedy B now trying to go around the outside of the McLaren. But he can't make the move there, and we cut back now to where the old Singapore Sling corner used to be. They've changed it now in recent years, but yeah, Locker hanging on to this podium place at the moment, and as I say that, side by side through underneath the tunnel, and the Flow goes into 3rd, and what a move that was. David Loweface is retired, and that's going to be a safety car surely.
Safety car, yep, safety car, and that is immediately put pay to the Flow and Locker. Both of them started in the hards, and this is what they wanted to avoid, as obviously I didn't see where David crashed due to the Delta screen being blank. As we got Reese's Pieces cheering on his teammate. Obviously, I suppose one way to support your teammate. If you can't make it to the venue, you got to cheer them on somewhere else. As Button and Jason, no-brainer for them. They've got a pit, and in a way, all the medium runners have got a cheap pit stop here. So the Flo and Lockhart gonna have to take the hit early, and hope something happens later on. As indeed everyone, Godfather's got a 10 seconds. I think he might have been punted there by Brewmaster going into the pits. As Destroyer's actually stayed out too. Has Destroyer actually stopped in this race? I don't think he has. He hasn't. He started in the hards as well. So he's also going to be in a bit of trouble at this restart. As Rainbow's pitted on a set of hards. He might as well carry on, really. Sid Sandwich might make up a few places here against the likes of Brewmaster and Godfather, but I think he's just a bit too far back. As there goes the Dazoo Racing Haas. I'm actually really happy they've changed that rear wing now. It just matches the I say the current car. It's was the Haas. It's going to be completely brand new in around 3 months' time. So Reese's Pieces happy that the McLaren is in first, and the Flo's got a lot of work to do though to hold on to that. But even at that, 23 laps in a set of hards around Singapore. As good as the hards are in this game for tyre wear, are still going to be quite a challenge to hold on. And yeah, so safety car screen, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, the hard runners, I guess, yeah, they couldn't pit really, could they? It's a bit early for hards to go to medium, so I can understand them staying out, but I don't know if it's going to fall for them very nicely. They've just got to make sure they can try and hold off the guys behind for as long as possible. The only thing with Locker, has he got any wing damage? I think he stayed out with wing damage, so I don't know. If I was Locker, I might have come in just because of the wing damage I would have had. I don't know about Destroyer, if he's got any wing damage. It looks like Destroyer might be coming in. No, he's going to try and dummy. And Button.
Button is. Oh, he's got damage. The Button got damage in the outlap. Oh, no. I think this just sums up Button's campaign.
Well, Godfather is also going to be held here because they both come into the pits to both RBs. I mean, not it'll matter too much. Obviously, they're behind the safety car, so they can easily catch up. But yeah, what a palaver for Button. Button was obviously in the race, and now he's down in P10 on mediums, and the mediums will definitely not get to the end of the race. So whether or not he catches up again and comes in again, I don't know. But Rainbow will not be catching up, I don't think, this lap. So potentially he could do that.
Interesting front wing change there for the RB team. As there goes Godfather, what felt like in about 5 years in the pits, he's finally allowed to leave. And you said mediums won't get to the end. There's no way softs will either. That, I think, is I'm going to do one lap on the softs and then go straight back on to the set of hards I had. And I've threw it to the Twitch chat. It's an incentive here for a safety car question. Of course, tuning in to our races on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FPRL Racing League. You earn channel points for continuing to support the stream by viewing, following. We're on a road to 800 followers now. We just recently passed 700 as of last week, so thank you very much for that. And even through subscribing, of course, in the Christmas season. It is the season of giving, and we are very much grateful for all the support that is brought on to us. So thank you very much for that across the last, if I'm correct, 5 years it'll be next year of FPRL. It's been a good journey. Actually, tell a lie. 4 years actually in FPRL. It's been a long road, but it's been a very eventful one as well. For watching the stream, you can redeem incentives ? To the commentary team across our race days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 PM UK time. And you can do something like a truth or dare. That's an incentive for a certain Silverside boy across the if you were here. Do your worst. We got a drink and Pokemon drink redemption for times like this. Just take a breather. And on the subject of that, what's on the menu tonight, Monkey Boy Kurt?
On the menu, it is once again one of my lovely spice rum and cokes. But the spice rum of choice tonight is the Havana, which I've changed from last week, changed from the old Kraken. Gone for the Havana tonight, so yeah, it's very nice with a good drop of Coke Zero, I have to say.
You can sell ice to an Eskimo, I tell you that. And for me, it's just a plain old water, really. That's it. Yeah, I'm boring. I am very, very vanilla when it comes to my drink choices. We've got a safety car question, of course, for when there's a safety car, or well, I suppose, yeah, technically a safety car, because a VSC would be too short. Just a bit of interaction and a bit of a debate while we have times like this. Like Reese's Pieces has took the offer up on, so thank you very much for that. Chip in quickly, because it's going to end at the end of this lap. Should there be another one, we'll get to that, or when there's a time for it. Commentator catchphrase, again, do your worst. Keep it PG though, because we're not going to say any certain words that we shouldn't, or I wouldn't want to in the commentary booth, because I will say, well, I say I try and keep it PG, but outside the commentary box, it is no holds barred. Commentator impersonator and nominate a catchphrase, again, keep it PG. Reese's Pieces has said, will Lewis win his 8th championship with Ferrari? And I'm going to tell you quickly, there's a one-word answer for me, and that answer is no.
Yeah, I have to say the same. That is a big no. I just think when you get to that age, you just lose the. We saw it with Michael Schumacher when he came back, and Russell was really, but you know, I mean, you know, Hamilton's won races, but let's be honest, overall Russell was really outdone him in qualifying and most of the races. So I do think he will not be winning his 8th. But yeah, obviously back down to the action, back down to the restart. The flow is slowing the pack up. And will he get away well from FPRL locker in second?
Looks like he's doing a go for it already. Now there's a very early start here for the flow. He's caught Destroyer out massively, but Locker's stuck with the back of that McLaren. We'll leave the safety car question to a Twitch chat to debate. But for the flow, it is rinse that battery and run away from the pack behind. We start lap 11 of 31 at Marina Bay. The flow, Locker and Destroyer, the 1, 2, 3 haven't pitted in this race. The Undisputed taking the lead after the safety car window due to Button's misfortune and front wing change, as David Lawface has subscribed with Twitch Prime for 27 months, just over the 2-year mark. Thank you for that, David, and thank you for the support to the channel. I know it's a bit cliched, but it's as good as we can get. And Zero's Godfather making an early move there on Rainbow. It's turn 7 at the end of Raffles Boulevard, and away he goes up to 9th place as Destroyer. He is dropping like a stone in this race, and there's another safety car for potentially the front wing damage caused to Destroyer.
He's got no wing, absolutely no wing, and I don't know if there's a bit of lagging going on in the lobby, but you saw Jay trying to attack Destroyer there and kind of went through the rear of his car, and then we saw Destroyer go into the wall. So on our screen it looks like he's ghosted through him, but I expect on Destroyer's screen he's been punted in the back there and he's gone into the wall, and it is full front wing damage now, so he will have to box and he will have to go on the mediums. And whether they're going to go 20 laps, I don't think they're going to, but Roommaster just come in for a fresh set of softs, and yeah, I'm also not sure about that choice of tyre either.
David has said that it's the Hasses that are having connection issues, as Varicos immediately called out a connection test for both of them to our Tier 3 division head. Silverside boy, get on it. And well, Destroyer, it's the perfect time to pit now and get off that off of your tyres. But what was maybe a title party for Haas, it seems to be a bit of a party crasher this evening. Still, the race, I say the race is young. We're 12 laps in of 31, but there's a reason. I say the reason I like Singapore is because it's a very, very grueling race for us. It's nothing like what the drivers have to go through, but it's a very long race to go through, and it does take its toll on you, because you are so focused for like 50 minutes, and on a good day, a race is like half an hour at 50%. For this, it is actually like around 45 minutes, even without a safety car. So it is worth its time as Singapore. It definitely rolls on. As David said, it's a terrible race with no fans. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but don't get me wrong, I think that was the 2022 race. Oh no, it was the 2023 race we had with Sainz, Norris and the two Mercedes. That race was good. For what it was, that race was good. And David says he loves the track, but it's bad to race. You know what? I actually agree with that. There's a lot of tracks that you can say that for David. It's a great track to drive. It's just a not great track to race on, and this is one of them. To me, at least.
Yeah, well, I think me and you will find out on Wednesday, obviously, when we race it. I don't know how I don't know how you've gone on before around here.
Sophia's had more problems.
Oh, yeah, I think this lobby is really. I don't know if it's having some issues with it, but it just seemed to be. We saw Sophia lag back, didn't we, earlier as well?
Yeah, that's the second time he's lagged behind cars, and the Haas's are having trouble as well. As Locker's in, so that's now him had enough. He's going to try and that might actually be a 2-stop for Locker. So at least he gets the front wing changed, I suppose. But I don't know. We'll leave it for the moment. But it is certainly having its problems as the lobby. But I suppose in a way unlucky for some. We're on lap 13 of 31, 1-3-3-1. But going back to the earlier safety car question from Reese's Pieces, will Hamilton win his 8th championship? I think Ferrari might actually have a car good enough next year. But now it's the perfect point to say who will do good, who will do good, who will do this, who will do that. But if I'm going to say an early pick for Drivers' Champion, I'm saying Charles Leclerc. For no reason. We don't even know a single thing about the... what will it be? It'll be the Ferrari F125 or something like that. I don't know the name of it. Destroyer said the lobby's glitching since qualifying for everyone. Oh, that's not ideal. I mean, a track like this, that's certainly not ideal. But, I don't know. I want to see Charles Leclerc in a title fight. He hasn't really had one since he came into the sport. And he's a driver that deserves one, I think. Not even to win the title, just to be in with a chance at it.
Yeah, I think I go with that. I think the clerk's been quite... so unlucky. You know, he's competed. He's had times where he was, you know, fighting Verstappen in 2022.
He just hasn't had that luck for the full season.
No, he just needs that cutting edge car that is capable of winning, say, 2 or 3 races in a row. Because I think Charles Leclerc, I don't think he's ever done that. I think he might have had back-to-back wins maybe, but I don't think ever any more that the car's been capable of. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. You know, George Russell as well. Can the Mercedes pull anything out? Can the Aston Martins pull anything out? Can a 43-year-old Fernando Alonso be up there potentially with Adrian Newey now making the cars? But that's obviously going to come in the new year now. We'll have to wait and see about that. And once again, I think like I was saying this just a few laps ago, the flow backing everyone up to restart.
It still hasn't made his pit stop yet and is the only one yet to make his pit stop. As David has very nicely said, he'd much rather be playing Fallout right now than be sat in this lobby. Don't we all, this game is perfect and has no bugs. Or glitches, which is very false. Anyway, lap 14 of 31 around Marina Bay. We are back on the way for the second time tonight under safety car restarts. The flow, J Undisputed back into second place and honestly a net first. Speedy B up in a net second place, doing his bit as well for the Alpine team. Sheriff Woody, Sid Sandwich, Sophia having his own gremlins tonight, down in 6th, Rainbow in 7th, doing his bit. Button, Destroyer, Godfather, Brewmaster and Locker, the 12 drivers remaining around Marina Bay as Jen Disputer's not wasting any time down the inside at the end of Raffles Boulevard. And there you have it, Jen Disputed back into the lead of this Tier 3 Singapore Grand Prix. Further back, Brewmaster makes the move on Godfather. And Button gets ahead of Rainbow, and next up for them is going to be Destroyer. We'll jump back to this, Destroyer on the fresher tyres. As I see, as that I can understand a little bit of reasoning here for the Haas cars. As Destroyer's not going to give in towards the old Singapore line, and Brewmaster up into 9th place, but that's still not enough. He's got to get a scythe through this field and strap a rocket to that Haas if he wants to make this work. Is just about. He stops in time behind Rainbow. Otherwise, that would have been another front wing damage and another broken front wing for Brewmaster. I'm tripping over my tongue this evening. I apologise. I need my bed. It's been a long day at work. It's been a long Monday at work. as Brewmaster put in a little bit of effort and a bit of work as Rainbow defending aggressively there. Down the inside he goes as Brewmaster breaks that bit later and is up now to 8th place and has that little bit of a cushion to his teammate. I say that Destroyer follows him through and is up to 9th place. One more place and Destroyer has the title sewn regardless of what Brewmaster can muster in the next second half of the race.
Yeah, and Jay Undisputed now out of DRS range. Obviously, you expect it. Half the life of Flo's 14-lap-old Haas. Obviously, Jay on 7 and Speedy B on 7. Now, I'm pretty sure that Speedy B now will make the move for P2. And no, it looks like the Flo is using a lot of his battery there to stay ahead. But Speedy B will want to try and get past as soon as possible and try and get him out of the way because Jay's just going to keep gaining time and time as this goes on. So hopefully for him, maybe take him down. And Locker's now retired. It's another safety car. It's a VSC now. And Locker, that's really unlucky for him. He had such a good start to the race up in P3. Had a really good qualifying as well. And it's just not going for his way this season, really, in terms of the points that he's scoring and the luck that he's having. But it is another full safety car. We can see it on the mini-map. Another safety car, the third one, and we're not even halfway through this race yet.
Good. David, if I want to make a suggestion, if you want to download the game from the App Store, because we'll be here for a while, if you want to download, I don't know, it's called Top Drives. If you want to give that a try, go for it. I recommend it. It's actually a pretty addicting game. Because you'll be here a while, like I said. I'm gonna look. I'm going on Pokemon Go. Let's see what Pokemon are around me right now. We're at 9 PM on Monday the 9th of December. Let's see what we have in Pokemon Go. Because what we have is a third safety car in about 7 laps. Jay Undisputed made his pit stop and in a way this actually kind of helps the flow. We're over a half race distance mark. He can now technically get to the end, but it's not going to be easy for him. As I'll need to log into Pokemon Go for goodness sakes. I've not used this app for months, so I need to log back in.
And Locker has left the session, as we all thought.
He's probably the smart one. He can now do whatever he wants. Yep, still logging in. Still waiting. But still, another safety car question. If anyone wants to, we'll be on top of that.
We will indeed. And the only person that's just look down the field in terms of penalties is Sid Sandwich at the moment. The only driver out of the 11 remaining now, only 11 remaining at half race distance, that has a penalty. People like Jay and Speedy B are loving this because obviously they're hardly using their tyres. I mean, it says they're 8 laps old, but they've spent so many laps behind the safety car. They're probably not really worn at all, so they can probably go to the end now. These front 5 actually now with Jay, Speedy B, Sheriff Woody, Sid, and Zafia. Brewmaster up in 6th, Destroyer up in 7th. So yep, Destroyer will take the championship as it stands. But just something that I think Destroyer's just got to keep cool and doesn't need to go for any silly overtakes or make any silly mistakes. Just keep it out of the wall, just keep it out of the barrier. That's all you've got to do. And you will be crowned the champion tonight. If we had to see someone win tonight, though, I think I'd like to see Speedy B actually finally get a win under his belt. We've seen Jay win before. Sheriff Woody won at the start of last season. So yeah, I think hopefully, I think we'd like to see Speedy B have a good result here. Now I've said that, I'm probably going to curse him. He's probably going to bin it.
Well, now you've said it, you've committed to it. And other news, the Pokemon Go Adventures, I've shared it in the members lounge of our Discord server. Of course, if you want to join FPRL, and I promise you, we are far more professional than this. We are just bored. I say bored, I do apologise, Tier 3. You've been very eventful for the past 2 seasons while I've been doing commentary for you, but it gets a bit much. I mean, it tells you everything when Codemasters haven't even updated the virtual safety car screen to a safety car screen. It tells you everything with what we're working with here. Roll on F125, because this game's been nothing but a beta test. as I say, check our Discord server. The only way you can join FPRL and compete on track is through Discord. We are no shortage of links to get there. For our Twitch chat, Nightbot drops a link to our Discord server, or if you type !F1 in the chat, get a link to our Discord server, complete the sign-up steps, and we'll get you on track ahead of Season 10 as Reese's Pieces redeems a drink. Thank you very much, mate. We are in urgent need of one. Maybe even a cigarette, who knows. Our X account, formerly Twitter, FairPlayRL, got a link to our Discord server there, and our YouTube channel. All of our races are ported to as... Oh, that's a bit of a wide line there for Brewmaster. Got to be careful of that. Our YouTube channel, Fair Play Racing League, all of our profiles share the same. Oh, it's finally updated to safety car when safety car's in this lap. YouTube channel, profile picture the same. Go give a quick subscribe to that because we have all of our races that we uploaded from the past campaigns, so be sure to check out all of the events from the FPRL Vault. I promise you there are some absolute classics in there among the lead racing calendars and catalogues that you will not want to miss. I thoroughly recommend... Ooh, what do I recommend? I would recommend the Season 4 finale for Tier 2. I'd recommend that race. That race is one that you need to keep watching. Shout out to you, Silver Say Boy, picking up second place. Anyway, we're back underway. Lap 18, mercifully, of this Singapore Grand Prix for the third time tonight under safety car conditions. G Undisputed this time leads them away. Speedy B in second in hot pursuit. Sheriff Woody in third. Sid fourth. Sophia fifth. Brewmaster's in sixth and Destroyer down at the back again. So Brewmaster technically has a chance, but it's got to be nothing but victories for Brewmaster, or this title goes the way of his teammate. As down Raffles Boulevard we go. G Undisputed still holds on against Speedy B, and they've created a little bit of a cushion now over Sophia and Sid Sandwich, who's starting to get a little bit detached. Brewmaster looking behind them towards Godfather, the Float, Button, Rainbow in 10th, but not for much longer because there goes Destroyer as... Oh, Brewmaster, that is horrible, and the Flow's gone just ahead, and that's... Oh my god. Tier 3, keep it clean, for goodness sakes, we've only got so long.
Oh.
We've only got so long this Monday.
Please.
I just want to say, Monkey, I did say before the stream started, the longest lead race I've ever had to commentate over wasn't 1 hour and 2 minutes. I might have unknowingly cursed both of us tonight, and I might have unknowingly cursed the whole division to a 1 hour race.
Well, at this rate, Destroyer can potentially bin it in 8th and win the title, the way it's going.
Tier 3, I'm sorry.
I mean, I was watching Rainbow at the back there, and I know that. I mean, I have to just call it out where it's needed. I mean, I know that he's obviously, trying his best, but there was some dives that he was making that were just absolutely.
I'm just going to cut in real quick about that for Rainbow. The Flows actually said that he glitched into the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh.
And Misery compounded for Button.
Oh, Button's...
Misery has been firmly set up on Button.
Yeah. Destroyer saying what I saw, basically. But it was...
Yeah.
It wasn't ideal, but...
It wasn't nice. Anyway, another question, guys. Will we get... to the end of this race with at least 7 drivers remaining? Sorry, Tier 3.
Oh, dear. I mean, literally at this rate, well, we've got 9 runners now, so...
I know, but what's funny is, like you said, if there is one more DNF, Destroyer can retire and win the championship.
Yeah, literally.
Regardless, if there is one more casualty, Destroyer can DNF, go pour himself a glass of champagne while his teammate Brewmaster still tries to take home some points. He can start the title party before the race is even over.
Yeah, this is one of the more painful races I've had to watch. Not gonna lie, I'm just gonna put it like that. But
I want to add, I think it was a race we had back in season 3 or season 4 around Brazil. We had a full grid that day. 15 DNFs that race. 15. And I think you'll know it, because I think you were actually on that grid as well, weren't you? Not even any words, just acknowledgement of.
Yeah, literally just.
David, do you want to talk about that race as well in the meantime? Because it was me. I remember it. It was me and you in commentary. I was about as fresh as you can be in the lead of doing commentary, and it was just nothing but vibes that night. Just another one bites the dust. I think was the song of choice to sum up that event. I think this one's is his own little tween tribute.
Well.
Anyway, we've got 12 laps to go. But we've got 12 laps to go.
Thank God. Thank God we're getting nearer to the end of this race, because it is, it's getting to the point now where we just need to get it.
But the good news is, though, that Codemasters only allows 5 safety cars per event, so we will only have one more at minimum.
Oh, yeah, knowing that our luck, we'll probably get it in the next lap or so.
Who's the dog? I need company, please. I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored. I'm getting stressed. No? Okay. Well, right, off to your bed then. That's where he goes. So what do you want to talk about again?
What do I want to talk about? Shall we talk?
We're now in a position where we've burnt out all topics.
Should we talk about our good battle last week around Japan, Cruiser?
To an extent, yes. I will forget everything that happened after lap 22. I can't imagine what happened though, but if you want to check that out, check out the YouTube channel and see what Monty Boy Kurt's talking about, or what he's going to refer to right now. Oh, let's see if your car's in, yeah. Right, we're back underway. I'm suddenly excited to move on from this topic because, you beat me.
No, I wasn't even going to rub it in. I was just going to say that we had a really good race for the first, 20 laps, wasn't it?
20 laps. I'm not even going to lie, it was actually some of the best racing I've actually had in this league. It was thoroughly enjoyable. Reese BO7 is checked in. Imagine if Ninja, aka Tyler Blevins, got a low taper fade. Safety cars in this lap. And when I said we were burnt out of all topics, somehow he's managed to pick one out of a raffle. Literally just out of a blind raffle and get that question. If you want to donate a safety car question, go for it, because we're probably going to have another one to talk about. Ninja's low taper fade. Anyway, we're back underway for what could be, hopefully, the final time tonight. 10 or 11 laps to go at Marina Bay. G Undisputed back underway with 9 drivers remaining. 9 left for 11 laps of racing. G Undisputed, Speedy B, Sheriff Woody again. They have dropped Sophia quite badly there. Barry Aston as Brewmasters all over the back of them. Rainbow's in 6th with Destroyer behind them with Sid Sandwich and Godfather in 9th in the final points placement. As Destroyed, it's ahead of Rainbow. Sid Sandwich is ahead of Rainbow. Down Raffles Boulevard is Godfather going to make it 3 for 3. Brewmaster's making his own move up the pack and is ahead of Sophia as Rainbow goes too deep, hits the wall, and that's invited Godfather through. Say thank you very much. I'll take 8th place. And Rainbow, he's already at a point or two at least, so I suppose regardless of what happens, it is a good effort from Rainbow to at least get this far, because to be in the points, you've got to keep driving, and Rainbow's doing just that.
Yeah, it looks like it, and Jay trying to already get the DRS second up on his time, and Speedy B's just outside that, round about 11, it's about 1 second and a tenth sort of time, but here comes Sheriff Woody. Would he go for a move? He's probably not yet, as we haven't got the DRS yet, but Sheriff Woody will be looking at taking Speedy B if he can stay within DRS, and Speedy B's flirting with that sort of second barrier. It's all around about a second, and he gets a good run out of the last corner, and he's down to about 9 tenths. But look at the difference in the battery. Look how much he's trying to stay within that. And I say that Sheriff Woody goes a bit wide. He's gone off there at the runoff, and that's a 3-second penalty.
And then there were 2 at the front. Sheriff Woody has just put pay to his race, and actually might as well Might as well check real quick how many penalties Jay and Speedy B are on, because I've got a hunch that Alpine is on at least one, as Destroyer makes the move on Sophia. And this title party, the champagne is on ice for Destroyer. Just got 10 laps left to go, and certainly going to enjoy these 10 laps before a well-earned break towards Season 10. And, of course, for all of our champions, promotion to Tier 2. So do our homework here, take some notes, because this man is going to be a very good competitor in Tier 2, which will happen in Wednesday's next campaign. Reese is saying that Drat's going to win. Certainly got a good chance. But the freshest tyres of everyone, outside of Sid and Godfather, I say and Rainbow, but no offence Rainbow, but it is 50 seconds behind everyone. So I don't know about that, as there's a collision at turn 1. Rainbow's now 50 seconds behind and without a front wing. My powers are out of control right now, yeah.
Well, I did see that.
You know what? I'm just going to mute the mic, because the powers have consumed me, because I've cursed everyone tonight. So I'm just going to pass the baton on the Monkey Boy cart for the next lap, and I'm going to try and control these powers that I have.
Yeah, well, and yeah, this is Cruiser, don't go on to P9 whatever you do, because not something we want to see. Potentially we're going to have another safety car if it carries on like this. So yeah.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Exactly.
Instead of five golden rounds, it's 5 safety cars.
Well, it potentially looking like that. As I'm going to go back to the front of the field, and we've got Jay leading Speedy B by 5.5 tenths. So Speedy B's coming a little bit back into it. He's gained a bit more batteries. So he's not quite out of it yet, but Jay's got that whole 100% battery, so he's got that to work with. He's probably not actually pushing at full pace. They are going to come on.
Oh, Sheriff Woody clipped the wall.
Yeah, I just saw that there, just in the background there. I was watching Jay and saw Sheriff Woody half spin. And then it means Remaster can now get right on the back of him. They will overtake him anyway, as he obviously will beat him on the penalties at the moment. But looks like Destroyer, is he going to have a go at his teammate potentially within the next lap or so? He's getting up behind him. He's running about 3.5 tenths back. But Remaster will want to try and keep the position for sure. And I think, are we going to see Rainbow now retire from the race? Surely we will see the retirement come out for the Alpine. After the antics of what we've just seen on stream. Hopefully we do. But yeah, Jay still in the lead then by 6 tenths, but he can use all that battery to help him down the straight. Can Speedy B get on the DRS and maybe pose a bit of a threat? I don't think he can. I think Jay's not really that bothered at the moment. He knows, and there we go. There he is, retired in the pits. All I can say is that is... probably deserves to not finish this race after that. You there, Cruiser? Meet you, Mike Cruiser.
I am back. My powers are somewhat in possession. We are now back in control. And Radical saying that Destroyer's got no battery down the straight then. As to not overtake his teammate. And I think he's just content to sit back, because regardless he's going to get 4th place, which is enough to seal the crown tonight. But really, it's going to be another tale of, could it be for Speedy B? He's doing everything he can here to try and hang on to the back of G Undisputed, who's still not using much of that battery, but he's using just enough to keep himself at arm's length from that Alpine. But can they hold on? Because if Brewmaster and Destroyer get unleashed from behind Sheriff Woody, because there they are, that gap around 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to Speedy B, 3 seconds in total to the Haas. Can he catch up? Can they catch up and even crash their party of a potential first victory in the FPRL for Speedy B, or the first victory since Kota, since Texas last season for G Undisputed?
Yeah. I mean, it would be good for either of them to win, but I mean, Speedy B's got a bit more battery now, and Jay's using a bit more of his. So maybe Speedy B's trying to make Jay use a bit more and a bit more and a bit more each lap in terms of defending from him, and maybe might pose a threat come the latter stages of this race. Brings to lap 25 now 31, so maybe Speedy B's just trying to almost line Jay up for an overtake potentially in the final laps, and he's really behind now. The Williams, and we see him behind there is Destroyer and Sheriff Woody, and Destroyer won't want to get into anything silly here, and he doesn't. He makes the move and goes up into P4. The championship leader P4, Remaster P3. Those Haas boys have dominated all season, it has to be said. And this race, they haven't really obviously had the luck, or they haven't been on top form tonight, but potentially we might see Destroyer now try and get after his teammate. Only 1.2 seconds. He's got 4 lap newer tyres, medium tyres as well. As we look behind as well, we've seen Sandwich trying to make the move on Sheriff Wood. He can't on this occasion. He also has the time penalty at the moment. The Godfather will leapfrog both of them up to P5. And Sophia now just dropping off a little bit at the back, 2 seconds behind in 8th place. Will pick up at least 4 points though for the Aston Martin boys. But once again, we'll go back to the front. Jay Undisputed and Speedy B. This time Jay's got a bit more battery saved, so I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. But here comes Speedy B. And Speedy B's got a lot more battery as well. So yeah, it's definitely not over, this battle. We still, as we have 5 laps to go, only have 3 temps in it.
Certainly doing his bit here. Speedy B was denied twice this campaign by the Haas's. First off in Miami by Brewmaster, and then last time around, if I'm correct, around Zandvoort by Destroyer, who in effect won the title last week. But this is just the parade, almost the celebration for the Haas's and what has been an indomitable season for a pair of them. Inevitable for Tier 3 really. Story of last campaign of 4 different constructors. It was now just the one, I suppose, to say it's the one-man show in Tier 3 is pretty false. They've had their share of antics as Destroyer has done a put pay to his teammate, and it just confirmed what we've all knew already. They are the faster of the 2 this evening, and the faster of the 2 throughout the campaign. As Brewmaster's not content with that, they're going to fight it out, and Destroyer wins in the end. And Brewmaster now down in 4th. Destroyer can now chase after the top 2 as Brewmaster's been put pay by Sheriff Woody down the inside at the final 2 corners. And Brewmaster, the story of his season, and indeed that is just that is the icing on top of the poop Sunday for Brewmaster.
Yeah, not ideal, and it was a bit of a, Sheriff Woody maybe had the space alongside, was fully alongside, but he definitely sent it into the corner too much. And Remaster now is definitely probably really annoyed with that, especially with what happened to him last week in Japan. He could have definitely kept the championship going a bit more, and it might have been a bit more exciting for the championship fight this race. But now it is definitely Destroyers, no question about it. I think unfortunately for him, they won the constructors, but the last 2 races just haven't gone Remaster's way, whether it's getting off the line that well or stuff that's happened in the race. And he will now finish P8. He might even come into the pits and retire that car because he's not going to be catching up now with so little laps left. So I think potentially he will retire that car in P8. Going back to the front though, we've still got a race to be won between either the Williams, it looks like, or the Alpine of Jay or Speedy B. And Speedy B is still sticking with Jay. We're now on to lap 28, 4 laps left to go in the race. And just trying to look at the the battery percentage, and they're both pretty much on the same amount of battery, which is about 70%. Speedy B just needs to try and get really close out of the go down the back straight there, and then he could potentially throw it down the inside. But once again, he's just being patient here. He's being patient and maybe wants to take the die on the final lap. He doesn't give Jay a chance to come back at him maybe, but he's sticking with him. Just doesn't want to drop out of that second barrier, obviously.
Good fight there for 5th place. Godfather will win out in the end due to the penalties. But Sheriff Woody is saying you're not going to beat me that easily on track. I'm going to keep my 5th place for as long as I can until the end. But Godfather, give him his due. You've got to store points. You've got to keep driving the car. As Sheriff Woody's made a mistake, gets forced a little bit deep there by the by that RB. And Sheriff Woody just about survives, but that gap now between himself and Sid Sandwich is 3.2 seconds. Godfather might have a bit too much to do to keep up with that Williams. And Sid Sandwich, for that matter, might still be on for an unlikely podium too, should anything happen ahead, but Destroyer is starting to catch up. That gap now 2.6 seconds, but I think he's going to run out of time as the Haas. He wants to end this season the way he started it, with a victory at China. He won 5 times before, looking to make it indeed 6th of the best for Destroyer, and very much the best, the pinnacle of Tier 3. But tonight is going to be about a tale of two. G Undisputed and Speedy B, the driver, who has had second place twice, doesn't want to repeat it for a third time. G Undisputed has been in the top step of the podium before, as we're just under 3 laps to go. That's the first sign that Speedy B's looked for an overtake. And if I know anything about lead racing, this is going to be down to the final lap. So Speedy B has just got to keep doing what he's got to do. And so for that matter does Jay, but that battery is now swinging back in favour of that Alpine.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the Alpine now is Speedy B, slightly trying to get more battery than the Williams of Jay. It is around about the same again though as we go around under the bridge for the 29th time this race, and Speedy B just needs to hold it within that second and go for it, I reckon, on the final lap, or potentially, I mean, if he gets the opportunity to, maybe beforehand, but he won't want to give Jay any time to get the DRS back in him in a lap later. So I think he's probably going to wait until the final lap. Remaster there gets a 3-second penalty. That just adds to the really bad part at the end of his race. So yeah, unlucky for him. Probably going to try and go for a fastest lap. But he does get a 3-second penalty in the proceeds. But 4 temps then, lap 30, 2 laps to go, the penultimate lap of this race. Only 8 runners remaining out of 14 that we started with. Will Speedy B have a go this lap? The gap still 4.5 seconds. And the battery still higher for Jay. He's going for it now, and Jay's going to make contact. Here goes Speedy B on the outside. Oh, that is contact. And I don't know if that was really ideal from Jay there. It didn't really need to come across. I don't know if there was contact that made him come across, but it did seem like he was really defending hard there. We've got one final lap to go, and this is also letting Destroyer in a bit as well. Only 1.9 seconds now is the Haas, but we've got 1.5 laps to go. Speedy B still within the second to try and get past Jay. The battery at the moment 60-70%, and Jay's now got 83, so he's making a bit more of it. But Speedy B obviously has the DRS going down now towards the start of sector 3. Stays within around about 4 temps, 5 temps, and Destroyer can potentially get DRS in the final lap here. He's only 1.4 behind, but as we go into the final lap, who's going to be taking this race? Either Jay, Speedy B, or an outside chance on Destroyer, but I think it's going to be one on the front too.
That's it. Destroyer's got a lot of work to do in this final lap, but it's all now down to the final lap. For nearly 60 minutes this evening, these drivers have been put through their paces, multiple safety cars, and so much focus has had to be had throughout this event. It's now down to the top 2, G Undisputed and Speedy B, and for the final time down Raffles Boulevard, is it going to be a luck of the draw and a roll of the dice for Speedy B? He's going to rinse everything down towards turn 6. He's gaining on that Williams, who defends early to the inside, and I think that gap is just too much unless Jay breaks himself, which he's going to. Speedy B looking for a cutback, but I think Jay has that controlled as well. That might have been his one and only chance in the prior lap, unless he pulls something out the hat later on. Jay Undisputed is going to hold on, but Speedy B pushing him around turn 10, and Destroyer with every corner is catching up. With every corner he is gaining time, but I think he's going to run out of it as up towards the end of sector 2. It's going to be Jay Undisputed or Speedy B as Jay is a bit out of line over the bridge. This is Speedy B's final chance. Stock up that battery and rinse everything down to the end of the Anderson Bridge. And Jay holds on again. This is going to be his final chance to make the move, and a final defence for Jay Undisputed. The last stand of this Singapore Grand Prix. We've seen everything this evening, and we're going to see everything come down to the final few corners. Speedy B, it's going to be once again second place for the Alpine, as around the final few corners we go, and for the first time since Texas last season, it's J Undisputed, and the Undisputed era is back on track. J Undisputed wins a hectic Singapore Grand Prix. Speedy B 3 times is not the charm, but second place will still be handy for the Alpine. Destroyer caps off a title winning campaign with another podium to his name, a third place finish for the Haas driver, and confirms what we've already knew. Tier 3 conquered for Destroyer, and much like Panic End last season, a new adventure awaits in Tier 2. Sid Sandwich rounds out a solid evening for Williams in 4th. Zafir gets his best finish in the lead in 5th. Godfather takes 5th. Sheriff Woody Godfather takes 6th, pardon me. Sheriff Woody drops to 7th, and Brewmaster, limping is one word for it, to the line. And tonight belongs to J, and the season belongs to the Haas of Destroyer.
Yeah, he's had an absolutely almighty season, hasn't he? He's been dominant for most of it. Won 5 races out of 9, and yeah, he definitely deserves that title for the Haas team. It's obviously the constructors and the drivers' title. So yeah, a great season 9 for them in Tier 3. We've got one more race now where they will just go for who's can get the win, I guess, and can anyone add to their points. Can we see a new winner potentially next week around Imola? It'd be nice to see. Speedy B once again just so unlucky. He can't get that win just yet, but he's so good in the race. He's always up there. Like I said at the start of this stream, with a sniff of a podium, and tonight he finishes P2, only around about 5 tenths behind the winner Jay, and Remaster's doing some donuts knowing that he can no longer win this championship, but he will be in 2nd place. Still in the standings going into the final round as he caps off there. Across the line, and that is going to be it. And obviously well done to Destroyer as well on the podium, and Sid Sandwich finishing P4. That's probably one of his highest ever finishes, I think, for Sid.
I think we've ever had him on the podium, but still 4th place, and a victory for the Williams team. Good step forward for them in the Constructors' Championship, and we will confirm in a few moments' time if we did crack the 1 hour mark, or if this has broke records for the longest league race we've ever had in FPRL. The record stands at 1 hour 2 minutes. It's going to be close, I think. But for Jay, a good night's work, and is, if I'm correct, that is his 2nd victory in the league. Second, well, here's the one doing all the stats in that. His 2nd victory in the lead. Yes, I've completely ruined the podium celebrations. For the 2nd time in the lead, J Undisputed takes the top step. Speedy B 3 times this season in 2nd place, and we didn't quite break the record, but we got close. 55 minutes 30 seconds, just the 7 minutes under. Unlucky, but still, thank goodness that's over, because Singapore is a nightmare and a grueling track. J Undisputed wins in the end. Speedy B 3rd time takes 2nd place, and Destroyer, our new champion, and if I'm correct, actually says he will not make it next week, so we'll get a quick word from a new champion before next week. We head to Imola, and the gloves are off. There's no pressure on anyone. Go out there and perform. Sid Sandwich takes 4th. Zafir, his best finish, takes 5th. Godfather will drop to 6th. Sheriff Woody takes 7th. Brewmaster, it could have been much better for them, it takes 8th. And the 2 points finishers, technically, but didn't see the end, is Rainbow and Button.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, like I say, we will look forward to next week and see what these guys can do around Imola. Just be a bit of a practice race, I guess, for a lot of people. Maybe there's a few places still to be had in terms of 2nd, 3rd, 4th in the standings. So there'll be a few drivers maybe fighting for those positions. And maybe, obviously, if they want to get up to Tier 2, they can fight out for that and see who does get promoted potentially. But yeah, I'm just going to wait now to see if we're going to get a word from Destroyer, which we are.
It's only just dawned on me that we can only get a word from Destroyer because Jay and Speedy are cross-platform. Oh well, so seems fitting we get the Haas on stream, and I'm just see if I can get a quick word from our winner and P2 driver. But in the meantime, if Destroyer's Daughter's Mate ready, Monkey Boy Kurt, our brand new champion.
Yeah, it has to be said. Brand new champion, Destroyer. You are the Tier 3 Season 9 champion. Obviously, it looked like it was pretty nailed on last week, but it's now official. Yeah, how does it feel, mate?
Oh, feels really great. So happy, pretty beaming. I had my heart in the mouth moments in this race. Uh, yeah, the amount of incidents that I got in, I was just so frustrated today. But yeah, all in all, I just kept my head down, just made sure that I had to keep the car in one piece until the end of the race. Just try to finish the race in P8 or above. And then when I saw Master was not even not in the winning position, I knew that I just need to keep it calm and not cause any safety cars. But very happy to get that championship after a very barren run for 2.5 years. Yeah, yeah, very happy. Very happy.
Yeah, no, definitely good for yourself. Obviously, 5 wins out of the 9 races that we've had. We got one more, obviously, next week. But uh, regardless, it's going to be half of the race victories this season. So well done to yourself. It's fully deserved, as well as obviously the constructors that you secured with your teammate last week. Yeah, we'll go on to a bit of the race. Obviously, quali was not too bad for yourself. Still up there, obviously, amongst the front runners. But early on in the race, we did see that you obviously went back towards the back of the pack. There was some contact between you and a couple of others. And then all those safety cars that happened around about the sort of like the early to middle of stages of the race. I mean, that must have been quite frustrating, to be honest, constantly having, a safety car, then a couple of laps racing, then another safety car. I mean, what was it like for you?
Yeah, it was a bit frustrating. I think I got involved. I got spun around for like maybe 4 or 5 times today. Probably, I don't know if anybody had anything on me. They just kept looking me out. But I think all of us had some lobby issues. There was a lot of glitching, lot of cars jumping around here and there. So it was there since quali because I was seeing some cars jumping around there as well. And the race start was a bit. I think I was trying to go around the inside of Zephyr. Not sure if it was again the lobby problem or if the contact model was like that or if Zephyr turned around or something. Yeah, he just gave me a snap after we banged wheels or just locked wheels, and then I spun around. I think again in the end, I think it was Hirsch or David. I'm not sure. Got spun around again, so I don't know if Micah was jumping or something like that. The same happened again after the another safety car restart when Jay was behind me on fresher tires. He also tapped me on the back, and then I was so lucky that I actually did not DNF there. I didn't lose a wheel because my whole front wing was gone. Yeah, very chaotic race. It happened again as well with someone else. Uh, yeah, I just had to keep my calm as much as possible. Uh, but I didn't think of boxing in the very end with another fresh mediums. But with all the incidents, I didn't want to get caught up in the middle. So I was like, let me box, just come back from the back. And then when the field settles down, just take on one by one. Yeah, that was what I tried to do today.
Yeah, no, very interesting to hear your side of things. Obviously, from a driver's perspective, obviously we're watching it all from the comms point of view, but yeah, no, definitely good insight. Well, I mean, I guess we'll move on to next week. We're not fighting for anything now. It can just be a race for you that doesn't have any pressure. Obviously, the finale in Imola. Obviously, you're trying to go for a 6th win out of 10. If you can, yes, if you're racing. If
No, I'm actually not racing because
okay, there we go.
I have a flight in 6 hours to India, so this will be my last race. So I'm going. Yeah, I'm going for vacation.
Hey, get going, go. Don't miss your flight on us. It's like that'd be terrible.
No. It's in the morning, so I have a lot of time.
Oh,
No
good.
worries.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, good a good way then to finish off your season then in season 9 of FPRL before you fly away. A championship win. So well done to you, mate. Cruz, have you got anything else to add?
Yeah, Destroyer. I'll be seeing you in tier 2. Good luck and all the best. Enjoy your Christmas. I say Christmas break. Enjoy your New Year holidays. So we'll see you next year.
Yeah, cheers, mate. See you in tier 2 next season. I am very much looking forward to some good battles again. Also, congratulations to Room Master as well on the constructors for both of us. And yeah, I think he gave me a tough fight, except for some misses here and there. But otherwise, I think there are some guys who are like really fast, just not consistent enough to be in the championship fight. But I'm sure they will find their way next season, I think. Um, but I think tier 3 is going to be interesting next season because there are some really quick guys. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to tier 2. Thank you for streaming for all the races. We really love your commentary as well, both of you, Monkey Bikert and Cruiser. And yeah, just thank you to all the drivers who have been part of this season. Gave some good battles all around from start to finish and fair battles. Only today was a one-off, but yeah, there will always be races where it's one-off. All in all, I really enjoyed my first full season in FPRL. Um, yeah, thank you so much. Very happy with the championship. So looking forward to next season then. Thank you. Cheers. Have a good night.
And on that note, that's our new champion, Destroyer. And like I said, good luck in tier 2. We'll be seeing you very, very shortly. Yeah, a word now from our P2 driver, Speedy B, of course, due to them being cross-platform. We do it through our Discord server real quick. Speedy B saying, GG's to everyone, good battle all the way around. It was possibly one of my top 2 worst tracks in this game, and this season was a learning curve for me. I'm definitely ready for next season to go on a title run in tier 3 potentially. Next season, and GG's to Destroyer in his title. This season, well deserved, and GG's everyone. I'm hungry for next season. Now we all are. Well, we've got one more race to go, and then that is us done for 2024. This year's flew by. And we move on to our winner, that being Jay Undisputed, the second time on the top steps in. Quote, honestly, had pace to contend for the win, but it was all about keeping it on track in this challenge around Singapore. 4 safety cars was very not ideal, but I had to keep composure and focus on maintaining the lead. Seen Locker and Button crash, that's not his words, under the safety car, so luck treated me well there. Locker, Button, you know what to do next time out. Speedy, however, kept me on my toes, though I could simply run away, but he stuck with me all the way. Had a strong surge of PTSD when an Alpine tagged my left rear on the corner down Raffles Boulevard, throwback to the TG incident, and somehow managed to still bring it home for win number 2. I dedicate it to Cruiser because I stole his setup for this track. Anyway, what a race. Happy to be back on top. Yeah, I completely agree. No, at least I suppose I feel, you know, I've just done it. I've just said to everyone that my setup's good for Singapore. Though I probably stole it off someone else, so I can't really take all the credit. I don't know who I stole it from though. But what we will say is that's going to be it after a grueling Tier 3 Singapore Grand Prix. We have a fourth winner of the season, that being Jay Undisputed, and only the second non-Haas driver to win this campaign, so a testament to the Haas team. And well, we have this as well. Congratulations to the Haas team of Brewmaster and Destroyer picking up the Constructors' Championship, and we'll get their car up on screen to technically end this Tier 3 Championship. And of course Destroyer as well will not be here next week, but thank you for your words, and we certainly do our best to keep this lead as entertaining as possible, and we will see you on track next year. But that's going to be it from us in the commentary box. But before we do go, Monkey Boy Kurt, for the second to last time this season, we've got a driver of the day to decide. So who are you going to give it to?
Well, I mean, it's always, difficult to give these out, especially when you've had a lot of good drives. For the ones that finished, I should say, I could have a laugh here and give the driver of the day to Hirsch, but we're not going to do that after that kind of race. No, I am going to give it to someone that keep racing like he's doing. He's going to find that win soon. And he gave it his all today, but it was just quite enough. But he did come up from P8. He stayed out of trouble, didn't have any penalties. It's going to go today to the Alpine of Speedy B.
And I'd actually agree with that for my driver of the day too. So Speedy B, not quite the victory, but driver of the day, and definitely a step in the right direction for the Alpine. And that's going to be it for us in the commentary box. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, which will be the 11th of December, where myself and Monkey Boy Kurt take to the track for our Singapore race. And Friday the 13th, good lord, our Tier 1 race around Singapore. That can only go so well, can't it? But be sure to check them out on the FP Racing League Twitch channel. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button and come through to the Twitch channel. All of our races are streamed live 8 PM UK time. And before we go, our Discord server, there's no shortage of connections. Our Twitch chat, Nightbot drops a link to our Discord server. Be sure to hit the link, complete the sign up steps, and we'll get you in ahead of 2025. Our X, formerly Twitter, Fairplay RL, and of course our YouTube, Fairplay Racing League, all the one word. And I think a few more words from Monkey Boy Kurt as we round off tonight's stream. So thank you very much again, and certainly for persisting through what was a very entertaining race of sorts.
Yeah, that's one word you could use to describe it. Not gonna lie. We got through it, didn't we? It was a grueling 55 minutes, has to be said. But it's going to be hopefully a nice, good race to finish off next week when we have the finale. And we've done a whole season now, 10 out of 10 races in the comms box. So yeah, going to be a good one, hopefully.
Well, Tier 3 going to go out like they started, like a chariot of fire. And that has been Monkey Boy Kurt.
Yeah, thank you everyone much for watching. Cheers.
And this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you in the barrier at around turn 12 on Wednesday. What lap, I don't know, it's to be determined, but definitely in qualifying, I'm stuffing it. And that is it from the Tier 3 commentary box and from all of us here at FPRL. Good night, and I'm away for a lie down. That race was absolutely exhausting.